Boxing King Media, Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown out here in the Gold Coast, Australia. I was just thinking to myself, Spence, I'm glad you've got a ring to lean onto, because normally when I'm interviewing you, you're like falling into me, and I end up moving the camera back and back. So can you please just rest
Yeah,
on that
will
ring?
do. I'm not. It's not a nice feeling, 20-stone man falling into, is it?
So yeah, well, just don't damage the ring, mate. So
That's a bit strong, that. But anyway, go on.
I'll be honest for a second. I shit myself. Though he's gonna throw an uppercut here, but yeah, man, it's you landed literally what 8-9 hours ago. I know the feeling you're feeling right now. It's like you're here, but you're not here. You feel like a zombie, yeah.
Strange feeling, isn't it? You lose your words and you lose your thinking, and you just want to sleep. No, you can't sleep, and it's a grueling journey here. If anybody's thinking about doing it, make sure you plan it properly. I just got a bag and threw it on a plane, and off I went. But it's a grueling journey, let me tell you. It's like it's like the never-ending story. It never stops.
It don't, but what a great place though when you get here. This venue's fucking sick.
Tell you what, Tasman Fighters and Mick, haven't they done a great job? It's world class. This, absolutely, you walk in, and it was like coming to a big full-on event like in Sheffield, wasn't it? Something like that. You know, it's world class. Yeah, fair play to Tasman, fair play to Mick.
Definitely. So you're here for Jai Opetaia, a guy that you've obviously, Mick's told me that you're heavily invested in him. You also told me some bits today that I didn't know about, that you're a big investor in the promotion, and also with Mick as well, with the Jai, sorry. So I'm just curious to know how does that work, just for the fans as well. Like, obviously you're co-managing, I believe, Jai. You've got him the Riyadh season gigs.
What you call it? We Gold Star. Tyson Fury's heavily involved with Gold Star. Everybody knows that, and he's part of Gold Star, and he owns a big part of the company. So we're spreading our wings a little bit. We're obviously we're still working with Frank Warren, and we love working with Frank Warren. We like working with everybody, really. We work with Eddie. We work with Jai. We work with people in Germany, Ajit Kabayel's people, who we love working with them. We work with people who work in Denmark now, with Jacob Bank people. They're great people. These are real boxing people. As everybody we work with is it's a pleasure, really. There's a couple that I'm not too keen on. Not many though. One in particular I'm really not keen on. Like to slap you right in the mouth, but let's not go there anyway. But some people say things and say they're going to do things and they don't do them, and can be very disappointing. Especially when you've helped them massively and helped them get to the position they're in, or they were in. When they're sunk, and you throw a lifeline to them and you help them and you do everything for them, and they go and shit on you. But anyway, that's boxing sometimes,
I've heard these stories, but you don't have to tell me who it is, but I'm going to do my bit and ask you who this person is, because obviously the fans are going to be curious. But if you don't want to name the person, don't name him.
No, I'm not going to name him. I don't need to name him. I don't want to speak ill of them, or they made the decision with me, and that's it. And so we stick to it, and we go forward and keep marching forward. I believe that Tyson Fury one day is going to be one of the best promoters in the world. And so I've got to back him up from the start. I'm not going to be here forever. I just like to get Gold Star where we hope it can be. Just on the fringe of everything, and working with most people. And I love working with Mick. He's a great fella. He's never argue with him. They work. You've seen it yourself. They work so hard out here, don't they? They're a family unit. They work. I can't give them much more of a. I can't speak any more highly of them. I just wish that they could work together with everybody else in boxing in Australia, because I think they'd be a lot stronger, and I think there's some terrific fighters out here. There really is, and it's an untapped market.
I'll tell you what, it definitely is an untapped market, because not only is it great fighters, great crowd, brilliant holiday destination.
lovely people
Such
as
a
well, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah, it's so safe. I saw people walk around bare feet around here, which is a bit mad because it's
quite
clean.
extraordinary. Yeah. This morning, nobody gives a shit what you wear. You can wear what you like. You know, there's no P's and Q's either.
people in
They call a spade, and you know, the women swear more than the men. You know, so it's enjoyable. I just wish it was a bit closer. That's all.
Well, let's get to the nitty gritty. But what was before I get there, if people want to guess in the comments who Spencer was talking about, I'd be curious to know what name people think you're talking about. So Jaya Pataya, the big information about him that we saw in the last 24 hours, and Mick's give me a bit of an insight into it as well. Is this, you know, Eddie was asked yesterday about his promotional relationship with. Jai, and he said it's coming to an end. I think Jai said to me earlier that it's already expired or whatever, so that's why Matchroom aren't on any of the branding for this show. So what is the plan with that? Why has it come to an end? Why is such a big potential superstar in boxing not with one of the biggest promoters in the game anymore?
I don't know if it's come to a final end, has it? I mean, that's the first I've heard of it. You know, he's been very heavily involved, hasn't he, in Australian boxing? Eddie's put it to the fore. He's brought it back to where it should be, and he's backed a lot of the promoters here. But you know, you're a long way from home here, aren't you? You know, you need the grounds roots people. You need, you know, they've got 2 or 3 very good promoters here who have got different agreements with you know, different channels and TV and you know, I think that you'll see some new announcements very shortly. I know Eddie couldn't be here because of contractually. I don't think he can be because he's DAZN, and it's just such a shame that DAZN wouldn't get involved. You know, I had a few conversations with him and it came to nothing. Stan have stepped up. They've done the pay-per-view. They've put their money where their mouth is, and fair play to Stan. You know, but I still can't believe DAZN are not here doing this. I'm shocked because this is one of the markets that I would have thought that is emerging and up and coming, and it can only get bigger.
People have definitely got money in the Gold Coast. A big up Stan pay-per-view. If you're watching in Australia, you can watch it on Stan pay-per-view.
It's just a shame we're not going to get the access to it. But I believe UFC Fight Pass are doing it, aren't they?
Worldwide, yeah.
For worldwide. So if you go on UFC Fight Pass, you'll get it, you know?
Happy days. I'm sure they'll get a big global audience from that. So so obviously you've kind of clarified the whole contractual situation with him. So
I haven't clarified it because I'm not that. I don't know myself. So, you know, I know there's been talks between Mick and Eddie, and you know, as far as I was concerned, that you know, I don't think there's this big split up and this big rift. I think, like you said, Mick wants to do it the best for his fighters and best for Jarrell Opetaia and the best for the rest of his fighters. And Eddie obviously wants a part of Australia. So I think, you know, they'll probably be working together in the future. Who knows? I don't know.
I'm sure Eddie will have part of any part of the world, to be fair.
Correct, yeah. He's some grafter, isn't he? He really is.
Definitely. He's probably the only one that grafts harder than me, I think.
But listen, I've got to give a big shout out to Mick from Tasman. He's got his whole family here. He's got his whole family. Look at it, what he's done. It's incredible. You know, and that's why I wanted to put some money in to help them, because they need a bit of funding. I put some money in, and I've been proved right putting money in with them, you know. I put money into other things and been proved very wrong, but I've been proved right with this, and I think Jarrell Opetaia will probably become a global superstar.
I 100% agree with you on that one. So with regards to the future of Jaya Opetaia, you know, most people expect him to get the job quickly tomorrow night, and if that is what happens, what is the future plans for him? Because you must have things already lined up for him.
Yeah, obviously I mean, look, for me, the super fight would be David Benavidez. I think Benavidez could move up. He naturally gets into the weight.
I could give you an update on that. So Benavidez has asked the WBC for one fight to move up, Zerdo, and he's also said he's moving back down after that fight, whether he wins or loses.
Oh, so he's not going to fight Jai? Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
the WBC chairman told me it's one fight.
That's kicked my my super fight down the road, hasn't it? But I would have thought that the fight would have been Zerdo and Jai. You know, that's what the fight, and they told us we were going to fight Zerdo. So
winner Badu Jack and his guy next week.
Yeah, look, they promised. We've been promised that as well. So that'll probably be naturally. It has to be the next fight, doesn't it? At cruiserweight. I just thought Benavidez might just move up though, because that is a super fight. I mean, that's one I really want to watch. I don't know about you, but for me, that'd be like it'd probably be one of the biggest fights of the year, wouldn't it? Next year. It'd be really good. And don't forget, a lot of them are coming to the end. I mean, you know, Crawford is not going to stay as he's super middleweight, is he? He's not going to stay there. He's going to drop his. He's going to drop. Hamzah Sheeraz is going to come in. We've got such a lot to look forward to, haven't we?
We have, and I'm going to move on to Hamzah shortly for our box off some of this other stuff. So you did. So worried about this camera behind. So no, I think we kind of covered this show, and we'll crack on with it. So yeah, urge anyone to watch this event on UFC Fight Pass. It's a great event to look forward to. Some great fighters on the undercard. Keep an eye out for Max McIntyre's serious talent, and then
Max McIntyre could move up to any weight, couldn't he? He's huge.
Seen him fight. He's so good.
And he's very, very good as well. I like his attitude. He's very confident as well. So he's somebody to watch out for in Australian boxing.
So, other subjects. We'll tick off Tyson Fury because it's every time you get spoken to, everyone wants to know an update about him. So recently we've seen him sparring, and he's always got a group of people in the gym sparring, training his nephew and his son as well. What is the latest on that forefront? Do you think that comeback news is imminent? Because Eddie's been hinting that they're going to fight each other in September next year.
Eddie's not our promoter, is he?
True.
And you're better off asking Frank Warren. Because Eddie's not our promoter. I'm Tyson's manager, and we don't get decisions made for him, and I don't make decisions for Tyson. Tyson makes his own decisions, and in my opinion, he'll come back and fight, but he's not made that decision yet to come back and fight. You know, he's not said to me that, you know, it's going to happen this, and this, but I would think that next year, hopefully, cross our fingers, it'll fight again.
What do you make of AJ Jake Paul?
What do I make? What do you make of it? Because I spoke to Freddie Cunningham, and it's a straight fight, 8 rounds, 10-ounce gloves. And they're going to go at it with each other. There's no pillow talk or being nice with each other. They're going to go at it.
As a man who's experienced that whole unlicensed scene, obviously that is a licensed fight, but obviously
it's close to that.
Yeah,
it's very close to that. And
what happens?
Normally, Jake Paul gets his head taken off. Normally, but this guy, I've got to give it to him. You know, it's you got some balls. But my answer to it all is, where does that put Tommy Fury? Where does it put him? That means if he did go the 8 rounds, or he did manage to win somehow, that puts Tommy Fury in above Jake Paul, and it's just it's a crazy situation.
Hamzah Sheeraz just announced last week that he's going to be fighting for the vacant belt against Chris and Billy. Any negotiations or anything? Has anything took place?
He's not announced it. It's been announced. Yeah. He's not announced it though, because there's, you know, it's a Riyadh season fight. So Turki Al-Sheikh will be heavily involved in negotiations with it, and I think they want to see the best fight possible. And then Billy is for me. Some say he's not. Some say Pacheco's the best in the division. Some say this is it. Who's the other guy in it? Pacheco. Navidis.
But it don't matter. But there's
Yeah,
some good 3-4 fighters.
They all think, for me, Hamzah Sheeraz is the best in the division. Crawford's dropped, or Crawford's had the belt been stripped. He's not been stripped apparently with the WBO. They're carrying on. But I don't see the point in him sort of carrying on in that division. I think he'll drop down, won't he, Crawford? He'll drop down, and I think Hamzah will have another new super middleweight champion again in Britain, and that goes by the name of Hamzah Sheeraz. Who
When's the news for that going to come out?
next couple of weeks, I would have thought. That the announcement, and we're looking to get Hamzah into camp, and we're looking for him to fight in end of January, middle of February.
Okay, I think the last thing about fight, unless I forget anything else, I wanted to ask you. You will have seen in the last few weeks this whole beef with Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn. I personally, I don't really try and entertain that kind of stuff because I think it's cringe content, to be fair. But
I don't want to get
what do you make of it all? Like, just back and forward. One day, I think we had Shalom last week saying he's got media in his pockets, and he got Eddie saying all sorts about him yesterday. So what would you make of it all?
Of course, he's got media around him. He's been in it a long time, and he's treated them very well. He always does interviews with them and gives them access to fighters and all sorts. I don't know where Ben Shalom's coming from. You love him or hate him, Eddie Hearn, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's top of the tree. Him and Frank Warren, and globally as well, he seems to be right on top of the. Globally, he's massive, isn't he? But look, all this crap about Ben Shalom's been bullied and all that. Sometimes you can, when you make your own bed, you've got to lie in it, haven't you? And he doesn't get bullied. He had Sky, he had it in his pocket. Obviously, I don't know what happened there. I'm not too sure, but this argument between them, I don't think he's got a case really, Ben Shalom. His dad's give it to him. His dad's might have give it to him, but he got given Sky, didn't he? So that's for me. It's not an argument because he's ran with it, Eddie, and he's done exceptionally well. So all Ben had to do is the same thing, hadn't it? So they all got given stuff. I never got given anything, not even an apple or an orange. So. Only person who's given me anything was Tyson Fury, and Turkey Al Sheikh. I said, and I don't get it. I think they should just knock it on the head, get on with what they're doing, or settle in the ring. But you'd have to have Eddie 1-50 on, wouldn't you? Eh?
But you know what? I think I'd back you against any one of these promoters. I think if there was a fight, I think you do Eddie, you do Benny
I'm
around.
a bit now, but I'd like to think I would actually. Yeah, I'm getting on a bit now. I'm fat, I'm overweight, but I think if Tyson got me in the gym for 6 weeks, I fancy anybody. But look, it can become cringeworthy, and let's have it right. When you're successful, and that's what Eddie Hearn's been. End of story. I'll tell you, do us all though. Frank Warren would do us all. Frank Warren is a rough old boy. Let me tell you, in his time, he could have a punch up as well.
Good stuff. Spencer Brown, what was it? Crazy Cockney? Was it Crazy Cockney? What was his nickname in boxing? Something Cockney. Crafty Cockney.
The crafty.
The crafty.
I'm not even a Cockney, but I don't know why they give me that. Maybe it's because I was up north.
Hold on, I've just had to change the memory card. 2 seconds. Right, just going to change the memory card, Spence. One thing I want to ask you before I let you go is the latest on Jarrell Miller. He just seems a fighter who keeps getting a date, then doesn't get a date. No one's got any idea what's going on.
He's been very unlucky. We're still not sure what happened with Derek Chisora. That fight was all done, all signed, all ready to go. I think Derek wanted to fight for like a title. He's got a high ranking, isn't he? Maybe that'll happen one day, but I think we'll we're looking at a fight. We're pretty sure we've got a fight for Jarrell. I think he's looking at working with Eddie. Still managing him. I think he's looking at working with Eddie, and I think you'll see him out very, very soon.
Sure. Didn't Eddie say you'd never ever work with him?
Yeah, things change very quickly though, don't they? I mean, he's been really unlucky, Jarrell Miller. He's been over about 7 times, and to do press conferences, to do this, to do that, and he just don't seem to get a break. But now we think he'll get a break, and let me tell you, it's not easy to beat Jarrell Miller. He can mix it with anybody in top 5 anywhere. He's a real steam train, and he's he's living really well. He's living healthy. He's living cleanly. He's training constantly. He's being ready for whatever comes to him, and I think you'll see him out 3 times this year, hopefully.
So the exclusive here is that he's looking to sign with Eddie Hearn, and I'm assuming the Salita situation's bottled off now.
Yeah, I think he's been bottled off for a long time. I think that's been bottled off for a long time, but who knows?
It's going to be Eddie's problem, not yours.
Yeah, look, I'm still going to be involved in the management side of things, but I think I've secured him a fight anyway. And listen, he might not go over with Eddie, but I know they've been talking, and I get regular updates, and Boots Ennis's manager Everett. I'm in touch with him all the time. I talk to him, and it's very hard to manage people when they're this far away. So if you can do it between you, it's a lot easier. And a lot of people, it doesn't work because one person's got more ego than the other. I've got no ego. I don't care who we work with, as long as everybody's happy. So I've been working with Everett, and we'll get something together, and we'll get him out very shortly.
Good stuff. Spencer, I want to let you go because I feel like I'm stopping you from sleeping. I can tell your body's.
I'm only here for 48 hours, so I'm going.
Well,
the same as you,
yeah, I think I did 72 hours, but I could tell your body's dying to say, just fucking let me sleep. So I'm gonna let you sleep.
Thanks. It's been nice seeing you as well. There he is, the top man.
Yeah.